Hey guys, and you are listening to Profound Radio, and I'm Mapal.
I'm Silven.
I'm Shannon.
Oh, do I say my name?
Yes,
No.
you can say your name. We have
Dannie.
Yeah, we have Dannie over there. I was going to introduce you, but I was like, I'll see what she does, because I like to be mean to you. So,
I embarrassed myself.
So actually, we got off without a technical hitch. So this is great. Oh my God, Shannon, are you creeping on people already?
Yeah, I said I would eat their children. Sorry, guys. I'm fucking kidding.
Okay then. Okay. Right. That's okay. Welcome to our second summer show, which has already started off fantastically well. So hello to you 53 summer creepers there. You're all fantastic. I just wanted to start off with a quick apology on the delay on uploads at the minute. We have, I have some technical issues. We've got 2 or 3 broadcasts that aren't up yet, but hopefully they will be up pretty soon. It's the finale party and our fandom special aren't up yet. But we'll get there, So yeah, and moving on to a bit more business actually, Profound Radio business. I'm just going to rattle through this. Obviously we had a t-shirt competition not long ago, and I'm just going to get the picture up now. Because our winner is the lovely Neven Ebres, is that how you pronounce it? With this amazing design. And
I literally think she just went to go check on her children, so we just announced her as winner the moment she left.
So this amazing design will be on sale in our shop soon. And yeah, don't forget the shop's still there, guys.
The bloody handprint? Can it have the bloody handprint? Will it have the bloody handprint?
Fine, I'll try my best, but I'm not sure whether the t-shirt place can do it. But I'll try my best.
Okay, well if it can't do it, then that's still a pretty freaking awesome design.
It is an awesome design, yes. So
Can I get 2 bloody handprints strategically placed?
just like one there and one there. Yeah. But yeah, this will be on sale soon. Don't forget we have a shop, by the way. I think 3 people bought t-shirts, and yeah. I do want it. We do already have one with a handprint. I do want it. It's the placement of it. Like, I'm not sure if the t-shirt place can do things on the shoulder, but I will try my best to get that sorted somehow.
Seriously, Neven, you did a really good job, and
Yeah,
it's
we really love that design.
And you get Neven gets a free copy of that t-shirt for being so amazing and winning the competition.
You get my body.
Yeah, you get Shannon's body. Anyway. Yeah, so we have some really big fandom news today, actually. So much fandom news. We're just...
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So we are going to start with, and I have another picture for this, the amazing Point Pleasant is being released as an original novel soon, which is amazing. I mean, we've read Point Pleasant a lot. We all know how fantastic it is. So she's releasing it as an original novel. I think she's giving away 3 paperback copies as a prize award thing. She's got a post going around at the minute.
I think...
Yes?
Oh, I was talking to her, and I think, like, if you message her, you might be able... She's looking for people to, like, give advanced ebooks to, so they can pre-read them, and then when it's released on Amazon, then you go and you write the reviews of what you thought. Honest reviews, like, don't just go on there and say, OMG, this is awesome. But you go on there and you'll write reviews, so that way the book can get some momentum. So I think if you can do that, I think if you message her about that, she might be able to do it, but I'm not sure.
I'm just going to check, because she's got a post going around at the minute. I'll just check it. I think it says in the first week the ebooks are free.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, she'll have it up for them for the first week it's available. The ebook will be free for anyone on Smashwords.
Yeah.
In different format.
Yeah, but it's amazing. And yeah, she is going. Because of copyright reasons, she thinks she's going to have to take Point Pleasant down from AO3. So she says go download it now as a PDF or whatever, so you've got it. But yes.
Yeah, you guys can find it on Archive of Our Own, and they have that little thing up there where you can automatically get it as a PDF.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she
said,
said,
just download it as a PDF.
Yeah, so she said definitely download it, and if you do download it for free as an ebook when it comes out, then please leave some really good feedback for her. And if she's left the sex in, we can put this higher than 50 Shades of Grey. You know, let's do this. We can do this. So
yes, I was literally just gonna say, guys, let's support the crap out of this, because when 50 fucking Shades of Grey sold more copies than Harry Potter, and we have so many great fanfic writers in our fandom, this shit is personal.
Yeah.
Let's just do this, okay?
Yeah, so show her all the support, because she's an amazing person as well, and she's really nice, she's really smart.
She loves my accent.
And
yeah, we all love your accent.
So, but yeah, and yeah, Dannie is a little bit difficult to hear. That she's got a weird fuzzy mic, but she's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay, sweetie. We can hear you.
We can hear you all right. We'll shut up when you talk, so we can actually hear you.
Gosh,
so.
Stop pointing out my flaws.
If they need me to talk up at all, just let me know.
Tell you what, I'll turn you guys up a little bit, and then maybe that'll give it a bit more. So yeah, and oh yeah, quickly.
Kaleb, is that better?
Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your London accent just came through there as well. Is it better? It is. Anyway, next bit of news I'm going to hand over to the other guys. You've got the thing in front of you. The next two pieces are yours, because I'm already getting a sore throat.
Wait, what's next?
Yeah.
JJ Ackles.
JJ Ackles, yay!
Oh, yay!
We would like to congratulate the Ackles family on the happy occasion. We're very, very happy for you, and just is a pretty name!
I don't care what these freaking bitches on Tumblr are saying. I'm just kidding, guys.
Yeah, don't. You remember Shannon? Balls hanging. Just. Yeah.
Whatever. Just
Stop it. But yeah, we would like to congratulate the Ackles family on this happy occasion, and let's all just, as a fandom, send warm words and warm wishes to them. But guys, we would also like to remind you of their wish for pictures of their baby not to get anywhere on the internet. So if some crazy paparazzi managed to snap a pic, please don't reblog it, repost it, redistribute it anywhere, because Jensen and Danielle do not want pictures of their baby on the internet. And naturally, if you run into them somehow, please don't take pictures, because they specifically asked for everyone to wait for when they want to release pictures of their baby.
I'm pretty sure.
So let's just wait.
Just because it ends up released on Tumblr does not mean that it's right to that it was released.
I mean, so, when they want pictures released, I'm sure Dannie will post them on Twitter. So so don't give the paparazzi the satisfaction. You know, don't encourage them. Just don't. So yeah, welcome to the world, Justice J. Ackles. Just yes. I just sound like children. I just don't. But it's nice. It's nice.
I will be brutally honest now. When I saw the post with the name going on, one of my first thoughts was like, Jensen, dear, did you just literally name your kid J2? You just named your kid J2, didn't you?
At first I was like, Jensen, I thought you were the normal one.
Okay, I gotta say something. That's really bothering me about all the news is that people have been somehow connecting the birth of Jensen and Danielle's child to shipping.
Oh,
that is terrible, guys. Please don't do that.
It's like just ship the adults. Fair enough.
Baby, and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
Like it really confused me, because I was like, wait, it was the birth of Jensen and Danielle's baby. What does it have to do with Cockles and J2?
But yeah, I mean, everyone's allowed to ship what they want, but don't sort of try to make it canon. I'm just,
yeah, guys,
be sensible. Be sensible.
To Jill, the reason people are saying since JJ equals J2, then that obviously means that Jensen was using his child to give a shout out to his secret lover Jared, and then other people are saying that since Justice J is a unique name, that obviously Jensen named Justice J, gave Justice J that unique name because it's a shout out to Misha, his other apparently.
It's like, I know you
That's
ship.
what I heard.
I know you
and
ship what you want.
I remember just sitting there in my room going through my dash because, like, I will admit, I joined in the excitement a little bit just because I was really happy for Jensen and Daniil. I was like, yay, I got a baby, that's awesome. And then I started seeing the fucking shipper crap. And I love shippers. Shippers are awesome. But, like, when you start bringing in their actual people and their family and saying all this crap, it creeps me out.
Yeah, I mean, you ship what you want. It's just when you sort of push that into reality. And then I'm a bit sort of like, please stop, because this is their personal lives. And even if they are having a gay affair, you shouldn't be trying to bring it into the open.
Yeah. Just like when we encourage you to ship us, guys, as I've already said, us encouraging you to write fic about me and Mapal is not the same as you sitting outside of my window with a camera and trying to find out what we actually get up to in private. So, like, please know the difference.
I'm just like...
my pants again.
What was that, Danny? Oh, she's like...
I said, oh, there goes my plans for next weekend.
But yeah. Oh my gosh, you're so fuzzy.
Sorry.
It's alright. Just like, sorry.
My laptop is so crap.
Oh, Mus is okay too. Mus is a certified ship. You're perfectly free to ship that.
Yeah.
We're behind it. We're behind it, 100%.
Yes. We have Mus, we have Maven, and we have Canon.
And Canon is Canon anyway, so...
Canon is Canon anyway, so...
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Shannon, you said you would do the next bit, which is DashCon.
Okay.
Now,
DashCon. We got a message over at some point during the week. I forget the day because all my days run together during the summer.
Same.
Basically, what DashCon is, it is a completely Tumblr user-ran convention that is going to include everything. And when I say everything, I mean we're going to have the hipster bloggers, the social justice bloggers, and the fandom bloggers, and all the other bloggers that you can see. Although I don't know about porn bloggers. I don't think they're going to have like sort of a section for porn because that might not be appropriate. But I don't know.
Hey, you can have an adult section. There's nothing wrong with an adult section.
But I don't know. They never said anything about porn. But from now on, I'm assuming that there's no section for the porn bloggers. Anyways. What we got message for was from the Supernatural Committee, who is obviously part of the fandom section. What they asked us to do was to promote their convention, all of their entire convention, and their auction that they're doing to raise money. What's happening is there is currently an auction going on. There's going to be a bunch of auctions. Like there's going to be fan fiction auction, fan art auction, all different kinds of auctions that has to do with fandom. The first one is between, I think, from July 9th to the 15th.
The fan art auction, the first one's gone. The fanfic auction is June the 9th to June the 15th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. June the 9th to June the 15th. They're going to be doing an auction, and hold on, let me pull up the ask because she gave me a lot of information.
We will post a link to their blogs, the committee blogs, and the DashCon website after this. We'll have plenty of posts with our information as usual, so you can get more info.
She explains it verbatim. The way this auction will be working is bidders reply in comments to each author post, as they did in the art auction. Winning bidders will give their author a prompt. Proceeds of the auction will be split 60% going to the admins of DashCon, where the money will be spent on venue costs / productions of badges, etc., and the remaining will be given to the SBN committee to fund the panels and the events that will be happening. I've talked to the head of the Supernatural Committee a little bit, and it sounds like a really good idea.
Sounds amazing.
Their whole goal, according to her, is that they're going to try and sort of bring together all of these different parts of Tumblr and these different parts of the fandoms and all the different fandoms, and they're going to try and make them they're going to try and mend bridges, basically.
Yeah.
They're going to try and make everyone sort of tolerate each other or even like each other. It's It's really good. I don't know why I'm messing up on my words. Damn it.
Words.
Deep breath.
Yeah, breathe. Do we have a venue yet? I don't think we do yet, do we? We don't know where it's going to be yet.
No, it's going to be in Chicago.
It's going to be in Chicago. So,
Chicago.
I think we're going to try. I'm definitely going to try my best to make it because I really. I
am too.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really fun time, and even if you don't like anyone else, you still have the supernatural section. And that's another good thing. Like, if people really don't want to be around other people, there are going to be certain sections for you. It's just going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And you guys should all try your best to give it support and, just be there for it if you can't actually be there.
Great. Can't wait for it.
That makes sense.
So yeah, that's fantastic. We have so much to go through today. Another thing I would like to promote, it's one of my own personal things. Yes, I have another project, and yes, I'm doing it with Angemic Wings. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, it's called So Near While Apart, and it's running on a blog at the minute.
It's really good.
It's really good. You say this now, and everyone's like, oh wow, this is so cute and accurate. We have so much in store, and it's going to rip everyone's hearts out. We have a real big special surprise coming up, and there's just so much going to happen there. It's basically a real-time Destiel fanfiction told completely in the format of instant messaging, emails, texts. So there's no, like, third-person fanfic. It's all told that way. And
it's so nice.
it's fun. It's so much fun to do. So, yes, and Gemma's there screaming about it now in the dash, in the chat. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get some more up soon. We posted out. We had over 100 followers in 24 hours. So, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's followed it already. And go check it out because it's so much fun. And if anyone wants the link, then I'm pretty sure Gemma will post it in the chat repeatedly because she's amazing like that. So yeah, we have Dannie with us here today. Hi, Dannie.
Hello. I'm really sorry if my mic is being really crap.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. And for anyone who doesn't know, Dannie is the one who was actually on with me at Asylum 10 because we were just freaking out at Asylum 10. So
it was really good.
It was really good, wasn't it? It was great. So yeah, let's get on with your little interview here. And we'll start with our first question off. Obviously, when did you start to watch Supernatural?
Right, so it was probably a couple of years ago, and I watched, I think, the first 6 episodes, and then I watched Bloody Mary, and then couldn't sleep, and so I kind of stopped watching it for about 6 months, maybe a bit longer, and then I kind of gradually started getting back into it about a year later, and then I got really hooked just before Dean went to hell, and then around October time last year I sold my soul to the show and not looked back.
Well, see, I'm glad you stopped watching for a bit after Bloody Mary because I actually never finished the episode.
Oh man, it was horrible.
I mean, the first episode was bad enough, but then I got to Bloody Mary, and I was like, no, just no.
I don't like. I'm not a big fan of ghosts.
No,
same. I don't like things in mirrors. I don't like things in bathrooms. I don't like things coming out your eyes, and it's basically just my worst nightmare. I remember watching it and being sat there afterwards, just like, oh god.
Yeah. I think we've all had Supernatural do that to us at least once with the variety of the monsters that you just see you're like, no. This thing is the worst. This is the worst thing.
What scared me was the pirate ship one. Where people kept drowning on land, because the pirate guy was actually really, really scary. And he just drowned people, so yeah, that was pretty scary. So out of all the seasons, what is your favourite season?
See, I was trying to think about this in the shower this morning, and I'm a big fan of season 8, but probably 4 or 5. I'm a big fan of the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But land on one specific season, probably 4 if I had to.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice. At least you didn't pick 7. So
That was my favorite. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was about to say. You've changed your tune a bit. Oh god. So yeah. So out of all the seasons, if you could pick a favourite villain, which would be your favourite villain?
See, you sent me the list of the questions, and I was just like, I don't know.
You can pick 3. We'll say you can pick 3.
Lucifer?
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of have to go with Lucy a bit.
Yeah.
Probably Crowley. Do you count Crowley as a villain?
Yes, Crowley.
Yeah. I don't know. And I guess maybe Azazel as well.
Azazel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Azazel.
See, there's like a small group of Crowley fans just here, and then there's Shannon.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I've told you guys how I feel about Crowley, okay? Can we please just leave me alone? We all know how I feel about
Shannon,
Crowley.
we know!
I'm just being annoying.
No, none of viewers understand. I always get judged so harshly for what I say about Crowley.
I don't judge you, I honestly don't. I just
Shannon,
like to
we
be
know
annoying.
we don't judge you.
I mean, I'm not like the other two, and I don't like fancy Crowley or anything. I just think I like his grey morals.
Yeah, I like his grey area too, but no, I just like to be annoying.
His areas.
I love to hate him.
Yeah, he's great. I just love being annoying, to be honest, and I will piss you off to the ends of the earth. I swear to God. Anyway, we're getting into the fun questions now. Yeah.
We helped think of these.
So, when did you start to notice the chemistry between Dean and Cass?
Probably right away. I didn't. Well, I mean, Tumblr had a huge influence on it because I saw all the gifts and stuff, and I thought at first they can't really be staring at one another that much. The fans must have just like slowed down the gifts or something. I was just like, there's no way they actually do that, and then they did, and I was like, oh, okay. But
I think this is literally everyone's reaction to the gift sets on Tumblr. You look at them like, they can't be doing this and still not be canon, and then you watch the show and you're like, oh my god.
I thought they were canon gay. I honestly did. When I first saw them, I was like, oh wow, there's a gay couple in Supernatural.
I had been on Tumblr for a while, so I pretty much gotten the gist that any sort of like supposed gay couple you saw on Tumblr generally wasn't really gay. So I was like, I'm gonna watch it anyways because they really seem to make awesome gift sets. So that's what happened with me. I was like, and I remember feeling slightly disappointed because I had this tiny little hope that maybe the gift sets were true. But then I was like, why did I do that? But now the show's consumed my life, so.
Very much.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think which. Yeah, right away. I remember having a discussion with my friend going, everyone's like, yeah, they look at one another a lot. I'm not they do. And I was like, I remember watching that surprise and kind of going, oh, okay then.
There's a lot of those moments though. With Dean and Cass, you just sort of sat there and you're like, oh, right, okay. I didn't actually think you'd even go there, but okay,
it kind of happens so often now that you just kind of shrug it off and you let it.
Yeah.
You get off it.
So yeah, speaking of Destiel, if you could pick a favourite Destiel moment or 3, which would be your favourite moments?
The alley scene in Point of No Return.
Good choice.
But not for particularly happy reasons either. Also, the hug. And probably the crypt scene as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah. One day we're going to have to go through these questions and answer them ourselves.
You should be.
Yeah, we're like grilling these people, but we're just sat here like, yes, quite. So,
quite.
Ooh, quite. No! One of my favorite Destiel moments was when It was when Dean did the holy fire around Cass and made Cass admit that he was betraying them.
No, that hurt.
Like, that was one of the episodes that really grounded the fact that there's definitely something here for me.
Oh, no, yeah, but,
because
I mean,
you could see it in Dean's eyes. You could see it in Cass's eyes. And when Cass told him to leave, you could just feel it.
Can I just say, one of the most heartbreaking moments in Destiel history is when Dean left Cass in the Ring of Holy Fire.
Oh, God, yes.
I will never, ever be over that. Never. So.
If I really loved someone, I would leave them in a Ring of Holy Fire if I was mad at them.
Oh my god. Anyway, moving on. It's a bit more of a fun question. What is your favourite supernatural monster? This demons to Wendigos to anything.
I don't know. I am quite fond of the demons.
Yeah.
I do quite like them, though I do like some of the more random monsters of the week. I quite enjoyed the Tulpa episode. Because it was a bit different. And plus I kind of really didn't like the ghost faces. They hold a special space in my heart.
I love the ghost faces. The longest surviving characters of Supernatural.
They are.
They actually are, and that is really sad.
I really want them to come back for like an episode in season 9 or season 10.
Yeah.
Oh god, totally.
Before it ends. Just to be like, because they are the longest surviving characters.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
Ghost
the
faces.
ghost facers.
Oh, I think I'm one of the very small parts of the fandom that really did not like the ghost facers at all.
Didn't at first. I did like them when they did the extra bit of Castiel going to see them and
god, that's hilarious.
So funny. Just for Cass, like, really? Seriously? And I'm just like, yes.
Like, the only part of the entire Ghostfacers episode that they did that I liked was that you got to see that Dean and Sam are really... Dean and Sam actually have a huge mouth on... Like, a huge cursing mouth. Because, I always thought it was really unrealistic in the show, because you never got to hear Sam and Dean, how they really talked. Because people like Sam and Dean...
totally swear.
They swear... I'm pretty sure they swear like smiling sailors.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dean's a sailor when it comes to swearing.
Oh, totally.
And, like, I remember just watching it and just being really annoyed with everyone in the Ghostfacers but the gay one that got killed. I really liked him.
They do get really annoying. I think I got annoyed with them because they remind me so much of Scooby-Doo, and Scooby-Doo just pisses me the hell off. I get so angry about Scooby-Doo.
What kind of childhood did you have?
I had a great childhood, but I see Scooby-Doo, and I used to get really angry as a child. I was like, turn this shit off, because it's
My
really
room was fucking decorated in Scooby-Doo.
Oh my god.
I used to have Scooby-Doo bedsheets and pillows and wallpaper. Scooby-Doo was my life.
I used to be into... Do you remember El Nombre, the little mouse in a hat that used to do maths?
No, because he wasn't as awesome as Scooby-Doo.
Well, Danny should remember El Nombre. Danny, do you remember El Nombre?
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh my god, you don't remember El Nombre? El Nombre was great.
Oh my god.
Yes, Gemma's on my side.
You hate Scooby-Doo.
Gemma's on my side.
I was brought up on Scooby-Doo and Sailor Moon and Pokemon.
Jelly remembers El Nombre. Jelly remembers El Nombre. Yes. Yes, El Nombre fans! El Nombre was great, El Nombre. And, yeah.
Everyone's hating on Scooby-Doo, and it makes me feel very hostile.
I don't hate it.
I mean, when I was a kid, I was into, like, El Nombre. Zorro was great. But I used to watch, like, the Silver Brumby and Brum, and, I used to watch BBC in the summer, basically, which was great.
We're really getting off topic here.
Do I look like
I think I'm like the only...
Don't tell them, I think
Gosh. I think I'm like the only person here who actually liked Ghostfacers, and the reason why I liked them was because it was finally an accurate representation of how we would act in situations like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I was like, oh my god, finally, some idiots who can't do shit! No, that's what happens in real life.
It's so accurate. If the supernatural fandom actually tried to fight supernatural creatures, that is what would happen.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Great. Anyway, let's move on then, back on topic. I think I already know the answer to this now, but we were going to ask, which episode scared you the most?
Bloody Mary.
Yeah. I can understand why. I got, like, I watched them online, and I was watching them, and it wouldn't load all the way through, and can I say, I was glad I couldn't find anywhere that would load it all the way through, because I got to the point where she was stalking the kids at school, and I was like, no.
Like, I've recently made my friend watch them all, and we got the, up to Bloody Mary, and I said, I'm not watching it again. You can watch it on your own if you want, I'll go out the room and do something else, but I'm not watching it. And she's like, no, it's alright, we can skip it. Like, good, because I'm never going to put myself through that ever again.
It's horrifying. It's genuinely scary.
It made me stop watching. It made me stop watching, so I can't watch it again.
It's just like, I'm scared of ghosts, and I used to be, I'm not anymore, thanks to Supernatural. But I started watching it, and obviously the first episode was a ghost episode. I'm just sat there like, no, I want out of this already. I don't want to watch this.
No. I think I'm not really all that scared by Supernatural. Like, the first season really didn't scare me all that much. Like, there was a few things that did scare me, like, but it never actually horrified me. It never made me like cry from fear. Because before I started watching Supernatural, I had done like this huge binge on just horror movie after horror movie. So by the time I watched Supernatural, I had literally seen it all. I mean, I watched Human Centipede.
I need to see that, to be honest.
Kind of horror. I've never been a horror fan.
I'm great with anything other than ghosts. Literally. Yeah. Anything other than ghosts. But ghosts I just can't handle. I don't know why. So it depends what you're scared of, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like Supernatural rarely hits me in the fears, but when it does, it does. I am basically Sam. I was scared shitless of the clown episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
That freaked me out as well. I only watched Plucky's Penny's Whistle, whatever it is, maybe like a month ago for the first time.
Oh, I actually meant like the previous ones, because weren't there like 2 clown episodes?
Oh no, yeah.
Yes.
I watched my friend and I hid behind my bear for like the whole episode because of.
Yeah.
Like, really, there's only been 2 Supernatural episodes that have really freaked me out, and they were both in, like, the first season. I think they were anyways. It was that episode where the people captured Sam, and you found out that they actually hunted and killed people just because it was fun.
Oh, the Benders.
Oh, God.
That freaked the hell out of me. Like, anything that has to do with humans going completely insane.
There is a Torchwood episode that is basically the exact same.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was at uni, and I was just like, oh, and I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And then,
And then the next one was that freaking episode with the feral child.
Yeah. Oh my god,
that scared the hell out of me.
Freaks the fuck out of me. That really.
I remember thinking that it's probably just a ghost. And you found out it wasn't a freaking ghost.
It was a kid who had been shut in the fucking walls. Oh my god.
Mess me up. Hey, there's one thing that will never fail to creep me out. There's one reason, like, the only villain that in Supernatural that has ever freaked me out is Lilith. Freaky little kids?
Yeah.
He scared the shit out of me.
Lilith, in that little blonde girl, was just terrifying.
I loved her. Though.
I loved it, but it was scary. Yeah. Really scary.
I loved it, but it scared me. And I remember being really surprised, because Supernatural at that point, by the time we met Lilith, genuinely never freaked me out that much, except for those 2 episodes. Lilith as a whole kind of freaked me out, but none of the actual episodes she was in really scared me that much.
Can we just say, though, like, can we just applaud that little girl's acting? Because she was the creepiest thing.
She was the bomb, like, seriously.
She was amazing. She was just, wow. That was
And then when in Yellow Fever, when she comes back and she's seen hallucinating her.
Oh, what was that?
She's really freaking out.
Yeah.
In Yellow Fever.
When Dean's freaking out.
Yeah.
And she pops back up then.
Oh god. Yeah. Anyway. So next question, because I'm getting the shivers. So, what is your favourite type of episode? So we're talking like the angsty, or the myth ones, or fillers, or funny, or anything like that.
Myth are all funny.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to go for the angst, the Dean-centric ones that make you cry your heart out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty much a fan of anything that comes on the top. As their lovely faces are on my screen, I don't really mind.
Yeah, true.
I think, myth arc, I tend to like.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite kind of episode is, you guys?
What?
Episodes where fandom favorite characters get tortured.
Oh, of course. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your input, Satan.
Seriously, one of my favorite episodes in my top 5 was the episode where Samandriel was torn and frayed, where Samandriel got his head drilled in.
Yeah, of course it was.
Oh,
of course it was.
And then my second favorite kind of episodes are the ones where we get a lot of mythology.
Yeah.
Because those are just really, really interesting, and I like to see how Supernatural does that sort of spin on the general mythology, because they always change it. Like when they did the God episodes with Prometheus, I forgot.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans. I remember sitting there watching and thinking it was really cool, but part of me got a little mad because Artemis was secretly in love with Prometheus. Kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, but I think a few people explained that actually it was possible. Oh my god, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, I have to say I'm pretty much the same. Like, comedic and myth arc are my favorite. Someone is saying Gabriel. This is why Gabriel is so much Epic One, because he has myth arc heavy episodes, well, not all of them, but some of them, which are also hilarious. So, yeah.
Like Hammer of the Gods is quite amusing, and then
you cry.
And then you cry. Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I guess I never really got affected by Gabriel's death as much as everyone else did.
Oh my god!
Sound more satanic than
I think it's because it was so unexpected, because he cheated death so many times, and then he's just outright dead, and you're just there staring at him, just like, no.
I knew he would die, though.
The writer said Gabriel's not really dead.
Yeah,
I hope it's not, but...
For me, it was so expected in that episode. The minute I knew he was going to face off Lucifer, I was like, no. Oh, no.
There's a post going around about the Heidi cap of Lucifer when he first sees Gabriel and he's crying.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently when Lucifer killed Gabriel, he was crying because he killed his little brother.
He was crying.
Which I can understand that. There are some times when I feel like I would cry if I killed my little brother.
Yeah.
But only sometimes.
Oh, God.
Ooh, that's right, Tom. I'm worse than Satan, because Satan cried when he killed Gabriel.
Oh, my God.
God, why am I so mean today?
But anyway, people are just...
Today?
Shut up, Silven.
Just quickly, people are discussing, like, how the angels managed to beat gods in Supernatural. And I think Supernatural said several times, like the pagan gods have said before, that because people are worshipping these gods less and less, they're becoming less and less powerful. And that's where the problem's becoming. So I think that's what happened to God as well, I think.
Ooh, can I...
Yes, Shannon.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Actually, and I also feel like a lot of power that certain gods have come from their age. Because we've constantly heard how young gods are not as powerful. Like, you hear all these little minor gods who are always sort of not there. They're not primordial gods, and they're not ancient gods. I mean, even if you go on Supernatural wikis and stuff, you have these certain gods that have already appeared, and they're put in these sort of categories like ancient gods, minor gods. I think it really depends on how many people worship you and how old and how powerful you are as a god.
Yeah.
It's not so much whether you're actually a god or not, because... Come on. I don't think it really matters if you're a pagan god or not. You're still a monster. There are certain monsters that are supposed to be immortal as well. In fact, I actually had a sort of that the reason God left was because atheism started to gain more prevalence, and more people and less people started to worship him than he's used to. So that's why he left.
I suppose when you think about it, like with the Hindu gods and stuff, there's so many Hindu gods that I suppose the worship's sort of diluted. So maybe the individual gods aren't as powerful as they could be as when you're worshipping one god in a religion, maybe. As a theory.
Maybe.
It's interesting. I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people are bothered by the power indifference, but I don't know. Anyway, moving on to our next section, which it's just because Danny didn't really know what to talk about today, and Danny likes Dean, so we thought we'd do a Dean-centric thing.
And then she sent me a load of bullet points about how she's going to hurt me. And so,
yeah, pretty much. The title is Dean Winchester, just to make Danny cry.
Just to make Danny cry. Yeah, I like that a lot.
So we did put out a trigger warning before we went on air, so if you are obviously a bit sensitive to Dean's issues, then, you know, you might want to slip off now, or mute us or something. Anyway, Danny, you said something to me earlier that I'm going to bring up again because it made me cry.
Okay.
You see it there? It's the Dean as a toddler. Would you like to explain yourself?
Okay, so I've got a nephew, and he's like 2 at the moment, and he's a total mummy boy, and he's very sweet. And I just sometimes I think about what life would have been like for Dean when Mary was still alive, and how, I don't know, how she would have brushed his hair and sung to him and like kissed his feet and played with him and taught him how to read and write, and then I just kind of want to curl into a ball and cry because that all got ripped away from him, basically.
You are a horrible person.
I am.
So basically, if Dean had actually been a normal toddler beyond the age of 4, he would have been a real mummy's boy and clung to his mum and...
Mary would have like doted on him, and I have these like little canons about when she was pregnant with Sam and how he would have rubbed her belly and she would have told him that he would have a baby brother or a baby sister, how he should look after the baby.
You're a horrible person. Oh my god.
It's just funny because I can see Kenren in the in chat, and I talk to her all the time, and she's already had to sit through this before.
Oh my god. We're just at the start of this section, and it's really painful. Because the next bit I think is going to get even worse, because Shannon, you brought something up earlier as well, which I picked on.
What was it again? Remind me.
Are you looking at the agenda?
Oh, no, I'm not. I never look at the agenda.
You said about relating to him as a brother.
Oh, yeah, okay. But you see, people, I never look at the agenda in every single show that we do. That's why I'm always so desperately confused.
I sent you it for a reason.
Okay. Mainly, there's a reason that Dean slowly became a really fond character of mine. Like, when I first started watching the show, Sam was my favorite character because the show really did seem to focus on Sam. And then Dean became my favorite character up until we met Cass, and then all 3 of them sort of became my favorite character. But the reason that I had gained such a I developed such a favoritism towards Dean was because I really felt like I could relate to him because I have a little brother of my own. His name's John. Me and John were extremely close. I'm not going to reveal too many personal stuff, but let's just say me and him haven't always had friends, and since we moved, neither of us really have any friends at all now. So we sort of grew up together, and we became sort of like Sam and Dean. We became codependent on each other, and when I got into high school, that's when John started getting really pissed off at me because I got real friends who are not part of the family. But anyways, in between then, as we were growing up, it was always sort of me taking care of John. Like, I remember my mom used to have to call me in whenever John was crying because I was the only person who could understand what he was saying while he was crying.
Aww.
I really sort of related with Dean because I realized that all the stuff that he did for Sam was the same stuff that I would do for my little brother. I mean, if John died and there was a way for me to like go to hell for eternity and bring him back, I would have done it just because I love him very much. He really is one of my greatest friends. He's my best friend. And that's the same thing that Sam is to Dean. He loves Sam. No, that's the same way that, that's what I meant. See, desperately confused. I sort of got that gist that Dean was that really good big brother, that Sam didn't have anyone else in his life, and Dean was just that one that took care of him, who was his best friend, who taught him a lot of stuff. And that's what I did with John. I mean, obviously, I have two parents, two great parents who had always been there. But a lot of the times they didn't like the same stuff that we did, and a lot of the stuff that they tried to teach my little brother I didn't agree with, and I'm pretty sure if I told you guys some of the stuff that you guys wouldn't agree with it either. So I sort of took that semi-caretaker role with him because I really, really loved him, and I wanted to make sure that he had a really awesome experience growing up. And whenever he used to get bullied, or whenever my big brother, my big half brother used to pick on him, I used to defend him. I used to protect him, just like Dean always did with Sam. Of course, Dean's situation was a lot more extreme, but I was able to relate to him, and that's why Dean became my favorite character. Because he's the protective older sibling who will do anything for his little brother, just like I would do anything for my little brother.
Aw, that is just so sweet.
I just like Lily's just posted in the thing saying they find that most people who relate to Dean are older siblings and those who relate to Sam are younger. And
actually, I have to kind of break that, guys, because I'm actually the younger sibling, but I relate to Dean much more. But I relate to Dean for different reasons than most people do. So not most people. I mean, I guess queer people relate to Dean the same reasons why I relate to him. But yeah. I actually relate a lot to Dean because of gender roles.
And I suppose I'm attracted to Dean in a certain way, not physically and all that. I'm attracted to him because obviously I had a big brother and we didn't live together, but whenever I did go to stay with him, he sort of did everything for me, because with my anxiety I used to be totally incapable of doing anything for myself. So he used to do everything for me, and he made my life a lot better. And I suppose that's why I really don't handle Dean's I don't see a light at the end of this tunnel talk, because it's really not good. So yeah, I suppose Pardon?
That scene killed me.
Oh no. I was like, no, this is not okay. But yeah, I think everyone identifies with sort of one of them, I suppose. And I've heard a lot of people identify with Cass as well. The extended family and all this. So.
Oh, I can totally vouch for that. My extended family is full of redneck bitches.
Okay then. Anyway, moving on. Oh.
If it relates to Cass, I will explain later. Maybe.
Okay.
I probably, but still.
Okay. I just like literally threw a list of things together about Dean, and I thought we could discuss them. So. Yeah. I just wrote a load of Dean headcanons down, and I don't know why I put alcoholism there, because the alcoholism is an obvious.
Yeah, it's not a headcanon, it's just a thing.
I think what I wanted to talk about was how much we actually think he did drink in Season 8. I mean, we touched on it, but we touched on it briefly, so. Do we think he only drank as much as we saw him drink, or do we think he drank more in his room?
No, I think he's good now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually do think he's drinking much less now.
Yeah. I think he's drinking less.
He went the whole year without.
Because I think Dean's alcoholism is very connected to his emotional health, and since we've been seeing him develop a lot more, a lot healthier ways of communicating his emotions, and now that he's actually able to do that, I do think that, I mean, he himself said, you let it come out in bouts of violence and alcoholism. I do think he needs that less now.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Is it Lucy's letter? Especially the big Season 7 rewatch, and how Dean's alcoholism is pretty much attributes or is completely because of Cass's disappearance, and when Cass comes back, it starts to lessen.
Yeah, that is fluty.
Yeah.
She did.
I think it was in her.
Yeah, I sort of saw that. I think. Well, obviously his best friend died, so obviously he sort of dragged himself into oblivion because he thinks he's not worth anything, and Bobby dying didn't help either. I think it's the way people die as well. It's like he saw Cass walk into a river, and obviously he's not going to be okay with that, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to some more interesting headcanons, because I put the drugs one down again.
Yes.
And we're going to come back to Tom's meta. And Shannon, you haven't read it yet?
I haven't read it yet.
No.
Shame on you.
Well,
Shame.
It's because I have so much stuff I've got to do. I've got to wake up, watch my 7 hours of TV, get on Tumblr, then I've got to eat.
It's an amazing... Yeah, it's an amazing... I'm just going to go get it up now if I can remember where it is.
It's on Tom's blog, that's why it's Tom's meta, Maple.
Yeah, no shit, but he doesn't just post that one meta. Shoot.
He's got an entire meta thing on his blog.
Yes, I'm going into his master list. Just shush. She's so horrible to me. Just really...
I think meta is probably my favourite part of fandom.
Yeah, it's really good. Basically, he's written quite a lengthy thing of all the instances where you can link Dean to drugs. I'm just going to go through the episodes. You got 204, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And Sam asks if he's high, and Dean has to think about that. Which, yeah, when you look at his face, yeah. 205, Simon Said. That's an obvious one. It's where Dean picks up a big glass bong out of the back of the truck. 210, Hunted. Dean talking about Amsterdam, and he says, I hear the coffee shops don't even serve coffee. Lovely. Dream a Little Dream of Me. Apparently there's LSD in here somewhere. Oh yeah, he says he remembers what it's like being on a bad acid trip. Jeremy says, just passed right out, and I had the most vivid, super intense dream, like a bad acid trip, you know? And Dean says, totally, I mean, no. So that's LSD. There's also another one in there as well, where Dean says, what did you do during college to Sam? Implying, obviously, you know, drugs.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised Sam didn't do drugs in college.
Sam's a good boy. He only does demon blood.
Well, why? I would think Sam would do Adderall if he got the opportunity to. Well, I mean, Adderall isn't quite a drug, but you know.
Oh, gosh. Yes, Tom's like, the drug meter. Yes, the drug meter. It's my favourite. It's one of my favourites. Episode 407. The Great Pumpkin, Sam Winchester. It's when that person's making a giant bong in a kiln. And Dean says, now that brings back memories. Of course it does. The Rapture. Someone pointed out that Dean knew what to do about Sam's drug addiction, the demon blood addiction, right away, referring to Dean and Bobby locking Sam in the panic room at the end of the episode. Basically, Dean knew exactly how to deal with drug addiction in that episode. 504 is subtextual, apparently. Oh, I think it's like the Cass and drugs thing. You know, how did Cass get on drugs, basically. Which is interesting. 511, Sam interrupted. You see, there's quite a few instances, which is why I got really convinced. It's the one where I think they're in the mental. It's the mental hospital one, isn't it?
Yeah.
The doctor's like, I'll go first. How many hours a night do you sleep? 3 or 4 every couple of nights. What can you tell me about the recent suicides in here? And then it says, how many drinks do you have a week? Well, I got to sleep sometimes, so what's 7 days times somewhere in the mid-50s. And he's talking about insomniacs and stuff, drinking himself to sleep, and sometimes to keep himself awake with other stimulants, and he doesn't mean espresso. 614, Mannequin Free the Reckoning, and Dean gives Sam pills, and he doesn't even explain what they are, he just says they're effective, which is cool. Yeah. And then I'm still going. Season 6:21, Let It Bleed. Sam is picking up on it now, saying, "Look, man, you're running on what whiskey and coffee and whatever else you're taking." So Sam's worked it out.
Yeah.
Not sure about season 7. I'm trying to read it and go fast at the same time. I don't really have. Okay, it's just the alcoholism. We have season 8 stuff here. 801. Need to talk about Kevin. The rules are simple. You know, not taking a joint from Don.
I know, Don.
Yeah.
That has to be some. Sorry.
I know. That's such a weird coincidence. You're just sort of like.
I know. There's never anything about coincidences I'm sorry. In writing, there's no such thing as a coincidence unless you pointedly point out that it is. A coincidence. And I'm still annoyed about that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. 8:14 trial and error is when Dean drugs up Kevin. So we've got that as well. Basically, John never knew. It's really interesting. We did link to the Mater, I think, the other day. So definitely go find that. But it's a really, really good Mater. It's just I just touched on it. It's fantastic. So yeah.
Taylor says white people have magical livers.
Dean does. I actually don't know how.
Clearly.
I don't know how Dean isn't dead one way or another. I don't.
It's because he's died so many times.
Yeah. He must sort of get reset.
When Cass was healing, when Cass heals him, he resets his liver and stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you really think about it, Cass is helping Dean drink more.
Yeah, but even when people get sick from drinking, they still often fail at, actually quitting. What?
My God, Dannie, you're really loud.
Dannie, really loud scratching sound.
There we go.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sounds like my Saturday nights.
But yeah, just like maybe Cass just heals Dean's liver every time because, like, damn it, you're gonna get liver cancer if you carry on like this, and just every time it just goes and heals it. So, oh dear. But who knows? But technically, maybe the monsters aren't gonna kill Dean. Maybe the drugs and the alcohol are gonna kill him eventually. Not even if he stopped taking them, they'll take the toll. But yeah, I saw a lot of like beliefs that Dean would also be a smoker too, if it weren't like a TV show.
Quite likely.
Like originally, the original character description was that he was a smoker.
Yeah, probably. I think he would be a smoker, wouldn't he? I bet the hunting world would just be full of smokers, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
Can I just say, Pat Woods? No, we don't bring up the fallen angel thing. No. Oh God.
Pat, what? Wow.
Let's just go away. Yeah. So.
Sam was a smoker in the pilot's original treatment.
Yeah. I think a lot of them.
If you've got to run, it'd be like, isn't it like to your homes and stuff?
Yeah.
Make it just breathe.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what Danny said.
She's saying like you'd have to run, so wouldn't smoking make it difficult to breathe? But I think most hunters probably wouldn't care. And actually, can I just say, Dean is not a sprinter at all. I get the impression Dean absolutely hates running.
Like the thing is, like, guys. The way you can run from something is absolutely not a reflection of your running abilities in a normal situation. Trust me, if you've ever run away from people who want to beat you up, you know this.
It's just, I get the impression that Dean absolutely hates running. I think he'd rather just get his hands bloody and dirty than actually run away from something.
Yeah, it's just when someone or something's chasing you, whether you like running or not, you're gonna run. And you're gonna do it well, also.
I've got this big headcanon where Dean hates running. I get the impression that he just hates it. That's like really unhealthy. I think it's because of the cutscene thing where Sam was doing his stretches on the chair and Dean's just sort of sat there like, no. So,
I love that cutscene.
It's fantastic. It's so funny. Just
I can't believe they actually filmed it and kept straight faces.
I know. Oh god. Oh. Anyway. Oh, we're getting on to the real fun topics now. Why did I do this? Why did I say, I know, let's do a teen episode?
Oh, because we're all masochists here.
Oh dear. I was just so exhausting already. We were going to go on to the topic of abuse. I scribbled these down, I just have no where to even go from them because it's such broad, obvious topics. So let's go round. What are our headcanons on abuse? Let's start with Silven over there.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that Dean has been through a lot of that, both in his upbringing and generally in his life, because due to his situation and due to his looks, I think that Dean has definitely been through abuse when it comes to objectification. Like I'm nowhere near as pretty as Dean, but I know how that shit feels, and this is why I always I keep thinking about it, because I do think that young Dean actually looked like what young Jensen looks like, which is extremely pretty, and I think Dean has been through a lot of crap in relation to that, and I think that this is one of the scratching sound again. I
Gosh,
can't hear
Dannie.
anything.
Sorry, so loud.
Just
I don't know what it is.
it's okay. I do think that it was one of the things that actually I think shaped Dean's relationship with masculinity and basically overcompensation, and how he kind of imposes that image of traditional masculinity on himself. Because in reality, he really subverts gender roles, but there's always that kind of film of, I'm a manly man on top of everything, because it's almost a sort of protective measure. I just always pay attention to that, because, as a bigendered person with feminine looks, this is also exactly actually what I do to subject myself less to being objectified due to my looks, is I actually have a pretty manly posture. I walk very manly, and I get that very definite feeling that when men actually don't bug me about my looks is when they feel much more of a masculine projection from me. So in Dean, I connect these things 100%, and I just really, really identify with that, and it's the main kind of abuse, the main kind of problems I think of when I think of Dean, actually.
Okay. We have a lot of Dean feels going on here.
We have a lot of Dean feels, yes.
I've numbed myself to feeling.
Shannon, do you have anything to say?
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Shall I go next?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
You have lots.
Yeah, I wrote a mater on this not long ago, I think. Did you see me screaming on my blog earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
I'm gonna go find the image now, and I'm gonna show you why I was screaming. I have so many. It makes me really, really sort of sad, because I've sort of seen this. I've seen abuse to children and its effects, and sort of what comes of it. So I look at Dean, and I see what I saw in my friends and my partner, and I'm just like, I see the same look on his face, and that just really, it gets to you, and I don't know, when you start feeling that you can't really deny that Dean was abused as a child. Probably by John, something Martin said.
Definitely by John.
Yeah, Martin said if your dad was here, he'd take you out the back of the woodshed and show you something. I'm just like, no. Oh, there's a lovely gif. So obviously, I'm 100% positive that John did abuse Dean. No, I don't think Sam knew about it. I don't think Sam received it, because that happened. It does happen. And here is a very predatory gif. I was screaming about this earlier. I have so many Dean feels, and how especially male characters just abuse him, and male characters are very predatory towards him, and like Azazel, that in that gif, it's Azazel possessing. Was that Samuel he was possessing in that?
It is.
Yeah. It's in.
Azazel has a thing for incest, isn't it?
Yeah, Azazel has
With
a
the
thing.
Winchester family.
Yeah, Azazel has a real thing for the Winchester family, and he has a. He's just sort of very predatory towards both the boys, actually, and it's really kind of creepy, very, very creepy. So basically, my feelings towards Dean are just wow, yeah. He basically gets abused by most male characters in the show. I think that feeds through to how he portrays himself. You know, he tries to be masculine, he tries to be everything his dad raised him to be, he tries to be above it all, but I think underneath it all, he's probably still a scared little boy, to be honest.
Lauren just mentioned about the meta that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, we
about were. How Sam gets sexually assaulted by women, whereas Dean gets sexually assaulted by men.
We did agree we weren't going to touch upon sexual abuse on this. But
because it's a very sensitive topic.
But if you would like to hear our thoughts on it, we will answer privately on our blogs if you want to hear about it.
I like talking about sexual abuse.
What was that, Shannon?
I will not, because I don't like talking about sexual abuse.
I don't.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I don't talk about it in nice public environments. But I will talk to you in private on my blog if you want to know more. So.
Yeah, same. I definitely will talk about that in private. Totally.
Yeah. So.
I won't.
Yeah, but Shannon won't. Shannon, just come back again. Shannon won't. But me and Silven will. I don't know about Dannie.
I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Okay. So me and Silven.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Me and Silven, if you want to discuss more. So yeah, sorry, I'm just reading the comments of. So yeah, just definitely Dean was abused as a kid. I honestly think his abuse from John went up until the day John died. To be honest, like the day he disappeared. I'm pretty sure John would not have hesitated.
John was a terrible father.
He was,
honestly. Like you could, whenever Dean and John were around each other in the first season, you could totally see that there was history of abuse there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with the way of how Dean carried himself. Like, you immediately saw Dean go from the confident person that you'd seen in most of the season. The moment John was there, boom, it was gone. And you also saw the verbal abuse that John gave Dean when they actually talked. Like, instead of actually pretending like he was glad to see his sons, one of the first things you hear him say to Dean was how bad he kept the car.
Yeah. It's just... it's basically canon. People deny it, and I think either they're in a bit of denial or they just don't know what they're looking for. But if you've
It's a bit in Scarecrow as well, where Sam's on the phone to John, and then as soon as Dean takes the phone off him to talk to John, and he's just like, yes sir, of course sir, whatever you want sir, it's just like, no,
it's John basically sculpted Dean to be his perfect little soldier, and I wrote a mate on it not long ago, and someone brought up like, yes, but John would never hurt his soldiers, he would never damage his soldiers. And I'm like, if you've been like in the old style army, he's just no. Basically, there's nothing to say that Dean didn't love both of his boys. John didn't love both of his boys. You know, John definitely did love them both, but it's some people don't know how to show that. Some people don't know how to some people don't know how to deal with that. Some people don't know how to process the grief that John was dealing with, and he fell into alcoholism. He was an ex-soldier, and he did the only thing he knew how. He trained Dean to look after Sam, and he trained Dean basically.
I think there's a bit of a misconception basically going around that, it's impossible to both, love someone and abuse them, when it is perfectly possible. It's actually one of the hardest and most problematic things about it, and one of the main reasons why people often try to protect their abusers in situations. Dannie, the sound is back. One of the main reasons why people...
Oh gosh. Yes, go Silven.
One of the main reasons why people often try to protect their abusers in situations of like family abuse like that is because they also do know that they love them, but that in absolutely no way does it make it okay, and that's what makes the situation so complicated.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like Tom said as well, just the act of turning a child into a soldier is abuse in the first place. Whether you think John ever raised a hand to Dean or not, it is pretty much, well, it's canon that he mentally abused Dean. But I mean, because obviously I wasn't going to go write a maid-to-run abuse without actually talking to someone about it and saying, you know, what do you see? And I spoke to someone who was a victim of abuse as a child, and, you know, he said that, yeah, actually, you look at Dean, you see a look on his face, and how John treated him, how John behaved, and it's abuse, you know. My friend said that definitely. And he had his head put through a kitchen cabinet when he was a child, so yes, I do trust that opinion. So definitely, I definitely think physical abuse was there. Definitely canon mental abuse. Poor Dean. Maybe, do you think he'll recover one day at all? He's on the road to recovery. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
I think considering how long he was actually abused, because he was with John up until he was
26.
Up until he was 26. So I don't think he's ever going to be completely okay.
No, I don't think he'll be.
You got like probably lots of abuse from John for so long that there's some stuff that's just unrepairable.
I think he will always have nightmares, but he is taking a lot of steps to being his own person now, at least. It's like after Purgatory, you know, Purgatory just purged all of that, I think. And now, you know, we see him being a lot more of himself in Season 8, and a lot more of what John would have really frowned on, you know, being friends with Benny, you know, actually asking Cass to talk about feelings, and, you know, things that John just would not be happy with, so, yeah. Hopefully he'll get better, he'll never be completely fine, but, Socrateur says Dean's slowly getting better and we're proud of him. You know, you've got to be proud of him as a character for that development. So.
I think after Season 8 we're all just collectively so very proud of Dean because he's having some amazing progress.
Yeah, he's doing so good. And, you know, obviously he's got Sam and Cass there now, so he'll be fine. I mean, he's never going to be completely 100% better, but hopefully he can find himself a bit more. Oh, should we move on to the next bullet point, which we had to sort of chat about this before we came on, is the implication that Dean used to turn tricks to raise money to look after Sam.
Definitely.
Yeah, Jensen heavily implied it. I basically just wrote down a load of Dean headcanons and just basically so we can look at what
I've never heard of this before until you talked about it today.
Yeah, it was around.
Does anyone have like the direct quote? Because I remember you saying there is some kind of direct quote
from Jensen. There is a quote somewhere. If anyone knows the quote from Jensen about him turning tricks, then if you drop it into our inbox, that'd be great.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact words, but basically it kind of indirectly spoke about, you know, Dean have probably done sex work, and it's just the thing with him turning tricks come from the fact that when men do sex work, a very large percentage of that, I can't remember the exact percentage, but like say 80 or 90% of that is actually them working with men, not women, because men buy sex much more often, and particularly with the way Dean looks, I would have to say that he would probably cater to a male audience. That's just, you know...
Let's just say, like, Dean was a very, very pretty young man. And you sort of got to, I said this once before, you've got to sort of look at the hunting environment and wonder what sort of shady characters are actually around there. You know, you could probably turn tricks very easily in the hunting world and earn quite a lot of money for it too. And
the thing is, it is quite realistic because, like, looking at Dean's situation is like he's a person who cannot get a permanent job, who does not have a degree, so he could never get a high-earning job, and his job would not be able to be combined with the hunting life in the first place anyway. So he has pretty much two things to do. It's either some sort of gambling or some sort of sex work.
I think a lot of it as well is like for a long period of time when they were growing up, Dean would have to make sure he looked after Sam, and he was basically forced into doing that all the time. And of course, John was away for longer periods of time than originally planned, I suppose, and so Dean would run out of money.
I just had a horrible thought. Oh my god.
I think it probably started quite young as well.
You just gave me a horrible thought. What if John realised the potential and facilitated it?
Oh god.
I don't know.
I actually don't think he would do that.
I don't know. If Dean was already doing it and John found out, maybe John.
Think so. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I actually don't think so, because John would be very likely to be homophobic, just realistically, because the environment he comes from.
What if he didn't know the nature of it? Maybe he just thought it was girls.
I think he would have been able to sort of realize that it genuinely
was men, because I mean, it's unlikely for it to be girls, because women do not buy sex nearly as often as men do, and
they do though. They do buy it.
Yeah, but they do buy it
as often as
I know. I just had the horrible thought. I was just like, please God, no, basically.
I don't think that's.
No.
I don't think, actually, no, I don't think that would happen.
Oh God, I was just like...
I definitely feel like it's something that was very shameful to Dean, and he would, keep it very quiet.
Yeah.
And he would have basically lied. He would never have let Sam know it was happening.
No.
And,
no.
He
absolutely
would never
not.
Dad no either. I think it would have been like a case of, I stole the money, or I gambled to get the money, not...
Yeah. I think he would just definitely say he gambled, and he would be very ashamed of it, both because of the nature of the work and because of working with men, because while we do know for a fact that Dean does not experience, straight up homophobia, because we have quotes from the series, him saying, no, I don't hate, any size gay guy, I definitely feel that he would experience self-hate in connection to that, again, because of his upbringing, because John was likely to, whether intentionally or not, make him feel ashamed of something like that within himself. So, even completely disregarding Dean's sexuality, he would consider it to be something shameful to do.
Yeah. But it's, people are sort of quite... unsure about Dean turning tricks and thinking it's unrealistic, but I think it's actually one of the most realistic headcanons going out about Dean.
It's absolutely realistic, guys, because again, cannot hold down a permanent job, is very pretty, does not have a degree, cannot do any other kind of work.
No. Really,
and in desperate need of money to feed little brother. What would you do?
I've got the quote from Tom, what Jensen said. Ackles points out that Dean's a bit of a pool shark and also a bit of a gambler. It doesn't really show it all the time, but it's definitely implied that there are poker games and pool matches that they can win some money on. And who knows, Dean's a promiscuous kind of guy. Who knows what he drums up the funds that they use? Who knows how he drums up the funds that he use? So
just said in the chat as well.
Yeah. So
it's about the Benders, the episode Benders, where they're hustling Paul, and then Dean goes off in the bar for an hour in the men's room.
Oh God, I've totally forgot about that.
I never even realised that.
I completely forgotten about that as well.
Oh God.
Because obviously he goes off and leaves Sam alone, and then Sam disappears, and Dean has been gone for about an hour.
Jesus Christ.
But it's pretty much actually in canon text that it's happened.
Pretty canon, isn't it? Because that bar was just full of men as well, wasn't it? It was just men gambling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like we're the Oprah of the Supernatural fandom. Like one day we can have a really lighthearted episode, and then boom, we talk about the next episode.
I was just this is probably going to be one of our first character-centric broadcasts. I think we might do more like Sam ones.
It's depressing as hell.
It is, but that's because it's Dean. That's because it's Dean. We could do some fun ones, you know.
No, we can't.
No, they're all depressing.
Yeah, every character
in the show is depressing.
Every character's tragic.
Everyone has tragedy in their life. There is nothing there that can make you
Dean
happy.
is the most tragic. Dean is the one who makes you just want to gorge your eyes out and cry forever. So...
I don't know. I mean, Sam doesn't form any bonds with people
Oh,
anymore.
God.
Because
Another one. Either Celestine says Dean stopping for gas in 8:20 with Charlie. Now, either he was praying to Cass or he was up to something else, because it was kind of weird, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the emphasis they put on that. I was like, I thought he was praying to Cass. Let's say that.
I think it was
Because I don't want to cry anymore today. Kevin doesn't make me happy because Kevin, just his girlfriend's dead and he's ruined his life.
I mean, Sam, he's really lost every single stable female in his life, so he sort of learned not to just be with anyone anymore.
Yeah, and Cass, let's just not go around Cass.
And Cass, we were just like literally hoping all season that he would finally stop blaming himself for things, and just at the end of the season he happens to be the one to help facilitate literally all of his kind falling from heaven. So it's just not like he's gonna blame himself for that, no.
This is such a happy show!
Oh, my
Golly,
it's awesome, I know.
Ben, stop sitting in my spot. Ben's my dog, for those of you who don't know.
Oh my god.
PJ.
Oh yeah, love that quote just said that there's pointed out that Dean links prostitution to absent fathers in 503.
Yeah, there was quite a big theme about prostitution and absent fathers in that episode, wasn't there? Because Cass started it, and then Dean was using it again. So that's quite a horrible parallel again. It's just some really my god. Oh, I'm gonna go cry in the corner. Anyway, we covered a bit of Dean and John, but I wanted to bring up, because we mentioned it briefly, but we never really discussed the headcanon of Michael raising Dean and Sam. Like it wasn't John, and all along it was Michael. And actually, Jared and Jensen quite liked the headcanon as well.
I thought it was really interesting.
It's clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is interesting.
I think John, obviously Michael, if it was true, Michael would keep scrubbing John's memory of it.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. It's really believable.
That is very interesting.
Weren't Mary and John like having a lot of problems too before the whole fire thing? Because I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah.
Well, she was it's in Dark Side of the Moon, and Dean overhears Mary on the phone to John. And
Yeah.
like, we've got two young boys at home, and they're arguing, and then Dean goes up to Mary afterwards, hugs her, and still says that he loves her, or Dad still loves you. And then Sam's like, I didn't know how long you've been cleaning up Dad's messes, or something to that effect.
Oh god, you've gone all fuzzy again. Oh,
I have. Oh,
you're back.
back.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's very believable that Michael could have raised the kids, because it's just how John treated them and everything. I'm just sort of... Obviously everyone says a father wouldn't do that to his kids, or what if it wasn't their father?
But then again, you do have Adam, and how differently John treated Adam.
Which is again very suspicious, isn't it, actually?
Yeah, but then again, when Adam was talking about his relationship with John, it was the ghoul, not Adam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did we really ever get to find out how he actually treated Adam? Because I don't think so.
Well, the ghoul says that John didn't know that Adam was even alive until he was, something like 11 or something, which is very different to his relationship with Sam and Dean from the get-go. And I don't think he would have been like, straight away, I'm going to take this child away from its mother that raised it for 10 years or whatever, and then put him in the hunting life. I think it's he had a very different relationship with Adam.
Yeah.
Whereas with Sam and Dean, he had to raise them at the same time as trying to protect him, at the same time as trying to exact revenge for his wife's death.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think of any of it. It's just very different set of circumstances.
Yeah. See, I think I don't think Michael was the one to raise them, but it'd make a really good fan fiction. Like, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah, same. I don't think they actually implied it on canon, but it's a very interesting idea.
I think some people might use it as an excuse to try to excuse John again. To say, oh, it wasn't John, it was Michael. And I think maybe actually it was John. I think he was pretty much close to losing his mind, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
after Mary died, I think he was close to using his mind, so...
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's kind of like Ivan the Terrible, the Russian Tsar who did a lot of terrible stuff in the 15th century. The thing is, he only became like that after his wife died.
Yeah.
So it's like a perfect parallel. That shit does happen.
Yeah. It's a grief thing. So I think we covered most of John and Dean, because, well, we didn't say Dean. It's basically a statement that Dean was never a child, unless Bobby took him to play baseball. This was a terrible idea. This is so painful. No, I'm struggling through this now. And you're also quiet as well. So I'm just like...
Yeah, it's a pretty depressive episode.
It is. Okay, should we get a little bit happier before we talk about Dean and Sam? Should we talk about Dean and Bobby? Because Dean and Bobby is actually I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happier?
It's happier.
It's happier, definitely.
Basically...
Oh, it's not. It's even more pain.
It's even more pain, but it's a little bit happier because...
Until you realize that Sam and Dean watched Bobby die.
Yeah.
Thank you, Satan.
But can I just say, like, Bobby was an alcoholic, but Bobby is the example of what a father could be, even though a father is an alcoholic. Bobby was the example of, even though he might have been drunk out of his mind, he still loved Sam and Dean beyond everything else.
Obviously, Bobby's not any kind of angel. In this situation, we're just seeing him as the example of better parenthood.
Yeah. I adopted 2 boys. Yes. And they grew up great.
There's the difference. Can I just say, there is the difference. Dean knew that when Azazel was possessing John, that it wasn't John because he was saying he was proud of him. Now, but Bobby was genuinely proud of those 2 boys, and that's the big difference, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Bobby gave Dean that sense, and Sam, that sense of pride in what they did and in themselves, and he encouraged them to be themselves. I think Bobby was just genuine, supportive of everything they did and their decisions. Yeah.
I still can't watch the Death Door episode without like breaking down into tears.
Oh man, I cried so much for that episode.
Because I remember I was sitting in my room. I had really dreaded watching season 7 because I had heard on Tumblr how bad it was. So I remember putting it in there. I heard that Bobby died, and I remember being so shocked. I was like, Bobby can't die. Bobby's like immortal. He's just Bobby. But then I watched the episode, and I was like, oh my god, Bobby got shot in the head. Bobby got shot. He got shot in the freaking head. Why is this happening? And then you saw him go through all that crap in his mind, and I honestly thought that he was going to get through the episode and he was going to have found some way to survive. But then you hear him talking about Sam and Dean. The moment he did that whole thing about Sam and Dean and how he adopted them and how they grew up heroes... That entire thing was when I knew that he was dead, because you don't give a character that sort of emotional thing when they're on the brink of death unless you're killing them off.
Yeah.
I remember just feeling so depressed. I almost stopped watching the show because Bobby was literally one of the best characters that ever came out of that show. And then I remember the only thing that kept me watching the show was actually right when he woke up and he called them both idiots, and then he died. I don't know why that kept me watching. Then he did.
Oh, he did.
I'm so tired.
I don't know why. I don't know why that kept me watching the show, but it did.
Oh, it's just... I have so many Dean and Bobby feelings. It's like everyone's saying like
how
Bobby said that Dean was his favourite, and I think I know why. And can I just say, Bobby is allowed to have a favourite because Bobby wasn't their biological father, so actually he is allowed to like one more than the other and not be an asshole. But I think Bobby knew what was happening. Bobby knew what was happening to Dean with John and the abuse and everything, and I think he saw that there was a child there about to basically lose his mind for the rest of his life, and I think if Dean hadn't have had Bobby, we'd have seen a very different character nowadays, and I don't think Dean would even be as stable as he is now without Bobby.
Yeah. And I also do think that Bobby saw himself in Dean, because we did see that Bobby's also a survivor of childhood abuse, and that he could just clearly see that this is a child who's going through the same thing.
Yeah. And I know he encouraged Dean's alcoholism, but that's all Bobby knew how to do. But, Dean went the same way Bobby did. He was drinking, he'd been abused, and he was never going to live that down. His dad was never proud of him. There's just so many parallels between the two. And I think he just wanted to try to, tell Dean that he was proud of him, and that he was, basically pick him up off the floor and brush him off and, help him, because Bobby knew he could do great things. And, obviously he loved Sam too, because when the demon made him say all those nasty things to Sam, it just absolutely killed Bobby. He just hated that he said those things. So he loved them both just as much, and he was proud of them both. And I just have so many Bobby feels. Oh my god.
He died.
He died, and I'm never going to be okay with it.
Dean died. and Bobby's reaction.
Everything dies.
And then they brought him back
and
they brought him back just to kill him again, basically. And I'm just.
Honestly, I was kind of glad that we got to see Bobby go to heaven, even though I'm pretty sure heaven's just fallen to shit now. But literally, heaven has literally fallen to shit.
No, but you could have Ash in his roadhouse, and you could bring together all the souls of previous hunters, and they're all chilling out in the roadhouse, and how Bobby and Ellen and Joe and everyone are all having a pint and Ashes.
Yeah. The thing is, I actually don't think anything happened to, people's individual heavens. I think it's a strictly angel problem, and that the rest should be, fine, because it pretty much, it exists with hardly any supervision, from what I see.
Well, I always kind of saw heaven as sort of, all of it was maintained by certain angels. You had the soldier angels who actually were part of the army and who fought, but then you also had the sort of higher up angels like Naomi was, who sort of oversaw how all things were happening. Say there was a malfunction in one of the characters' heavens, there was an angel who was sent to fix it. That's how I always saw it. But
basically, now Ash can run rampant in heaven and there's no angels to stop him. Ash can basically just rip heaven apart.
Being the inside man and men and women in heaven, Super Agents. The departed human souls, bringing down Metatron in heaven.
Yeah, someone was saying Bobby should be part of bringing Metatron down.
That would be really good.
I was just sat there thinking, yeah, I like that. I could get behind Bobby being badass in heaven and bringing Metatron down.
I just don't see how they would be able to do it. I mean, it's not like you can't really make weapons in heaven unless you find someone's. Well, unless you find a big gunner person's heaven.
It's
information.
It's incantations. Yeah. So it's finding out the spells and stuff to make it work, the words to say and things, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They could do something.
It all depends on whether they have Wi-Fi in heaven, and it's supernatural. They have Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. Nathan said, I don't think the angels stopped Ash before. The angels were trying to stop Ash, but now there's nothing stopping Ash. So Ash is basically just going to run rampant in heaven. I can see
Ash is just
Ash is just going to
find Ellen and Joe, and they're all and he's going to take them back to the roadhouse, and they're going to have their own little heaven bar. It's going to be nice.
Great. It'd be great, isn't it? But yeah, so Nathan said, Ash has been listening to Angel Radio for years, and Celestine says Ash could help. With Metatron, because obviously he's going to know something, he's been hacking into them for so long.
Well, if he's been listening, did they ever say if he understood the Angel Radio?
Ash could probably work it out.
He said he has an app. He said he had an app for it.
Oh yeah.
Or something to that effect.
Basically, Ash is actually a genius, and he worked it all out. He worked it all out. Oh, come on, he managed to hack into other heavens. Like, he managed to build bridges between two heavens. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Can Ash, just become king of heaven or something?
He would be perfect, you know.
So, Ellen said...
Biscuits in the front, party in the back.
Ellen's just said everywhere Sam goes, there's Wi-Fi, he spreads it around like fairy dust.
Yes.
Did you guys hear about that thing about how Sam actually gets his Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
in
He
season
gets it from hell.
Oh, yeah!
It's like some kind of magic hell Wi-Fi, and it's all because he has the demon blood inside of him.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, it's not going to work now.
There's also a legitimate post, I think Andy posted it, about how Sam actually gets Wi-Fi, and apparently it's like a little portable Wi-Fi box thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is super cool. Go ask Andy, he's genius. He worked it out. He worked out the Wi-Fi problem, so... Yeah. That or Sam does just radiate Wi-Fi. Pretty much.
You swallowed the Wi-Fi transmitter and now it won't stop.
Everywhere he goes, it just transmits.
Imagine them like running away from people and people catching them by just the way Wi-Fi works so well where they are.
Maybe he's got a special like code, you know, like in Doctor Who it had that weird thing. Maybe this one's just like something to do with Sam, just this weird DNA code or something, and that's how you know it's Sam Winchester's Wi-Fi. And
yeah, they're just like walking around with their iPhones, just like pointed everywhere.
It's like, aha! I've got onto the
Sam has secret antler antennas that sprout from the back of his head, and that's why he keeps his hair so long, because it hides the antler antennas, and that's why they actually call him Moose.
Kenran, so he's sleeping with him will kill you, but if you'll have awesome Wi-Fi, so you can block your death. You're like, lol, just slept with Sam Winchester and then you can die.
This really reminds me of that conversation we had about how if Sam's hair was a sentient being.
Yeah, the tribbles. Someone needs to write a crack fic where Sam's hair, they wake up in the morning and Sam's bald. They're like, where's your hair, Sam? And then they look around, and then they open like an air vent, and all the, you know, like the tribbles fell out in Star Trek, and all the Sam's hair's multiplied, and there's just a big mound of it.
That just reminds me of that post that went round where it's just like an AU of Supernatural where everything is the same except
Sam's bald.
Everything's the same except Sam's bald, and it's really creepy. Yeah, it's like, this is as creepy as Matt Smith with eyebrows, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay. Whew. Breathe.
Oh my god, yes, Kenran.
Guinea pig post?
It was like a little fanfic where Sam gets where there's this pic of this long-haired guinea pig, and then someone wrote a fic where Sam got turned into the guinea pig.
I think I'm gonna write a tribble hair fic. I'm gonna do it.
I love how just moments ago we were talking about serious topics like child abuse, and now we're talking about making treble hair fics based off Sam's crazy hair.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
See, I was going to talk about Dean and Sam, but now I really don't want to because I'm smiling again, and it's just going to make me.
I don't want to bring down the tone.
No. Can we just bullshit for the next 20 minutes?
Nope.
Satan.
Satan.
My name is Satan. Anyways, let's talk about Dean and Sam, because I like talking about Dean and Sam, because it always breaks people's hearts.
Then let's start with Dean as the mother figure towards Sam.
Yeah. I think that's kind of constricting, because Dean is not just the mother figure, he's also the mother figure. He's like the the mofa.
Yeah, Dean is everything to Sam. Dean is the father figure, Dean is the mother figure, and he's also the brother. You know.
Wonder how Dean gave Sam the sex talk.
It probably was Dean, though, wasn't it? He probably said, here's a condom, go have fun, to be honest. That just sounds...
I would think so, yeah.
Sometimes I'll just sit in my room and I'll think about how Dean did all of these things with Sam that normal parents do. Like, did he do them in his own special twist of the way, or did he, like, genuinely try and make it as authentic for Sam as possible?
Do you think he got a book? Do you think he went and got Busty Asian Beauties and said, you see that in your pants, you put it in there, but make sure you have a condom on it?
I don't know. I feel like he probably... I feel like he knows how much Sam wanted a normal life, so I feel like he made an extra,
Do you think he
no, wait, no, that's my new name. That's my new name. That's my new name. I'm Metatron.
No, you are not No.
Oh.
Anyways, that's what I was saying. I feel like Dean probably made a special effort to make it as much like a normal parent would explain sex than ever, just because he knows how much Sam wants a normal family, and he tried to be the best parent that he could towards Sam.
Yeah, see, I think, getting serious, Sam probably went to Dean and said, I like this girl or something, and I think then Dean would have sat him down and had a serious talk with him, to be honest.
The Girl Next Door episode in season 7, where Sam is with Amy Pond, and little Sam says about Dean, how do you talk to girls?
Yeah. I can't remember what happened in that scene.
It's like the flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, but I can't remember what. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's just, but yeah, it's like he's on the phone to him because he's talking about the case that they're on, and then he says, "Oh, Dean, just quickly, one more thing. How do you talk to girls?"
Yeah.
And then like the cards and stuff. So yeah, he definitely. I think it was sort of like, their relationship is so complex.
Yeah. Dean is everything to Sam, and I know we complain about the codependency, but you can see where it comes from.
Yeah.
With those two.
And like, for me, it's not so... For me, I don't really care. I'm not really that against codependency, because, I mean, that's just a standard sibling thing.
Yeah.
But with them, it sort of did get to the point where it was... kind of, they shouldn't be that codependent on each other, because they should have both grown up. But I can definitely see there's always going to be a sort of codependency with siblings,
and just Dee and Sam more so than many. I mean, it happens especially when the siblings lose both their parents like that.
Yeah,
they lost John when Mary died, basically.
Because it's sort of just like, and my parents put this mindset into me when I was little. People in your life are always going to come and go. I mean, we've seen that in Supernatural all the time, but literally the only thing that stays permanent in your life is is basically your brother or your sibling. And if you don't have siblings, then most parents will say that it's parents who are always going to be there. And that's kind of really dumb, because eventually parents die, and that can be very traumatic towards a single child. Anyways, it's sort of just like a lot of people are raised to believe that family and siblings are always going to be there, whereas anyone else that come into your life are sort of they can be temporary. Even people you marry can be temporary.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's just
my parents have always been very, very much like, oh, it's nice that you have a very good relationship with your siblings, Danielle. Ever since I've been quite young, they've always been like,
yeah,
look out for your siblings, and like
it's alright. Yeah, I mean, it's alright to like rely on each other and lean on each other and so on. It's sometimes Sam and Dean, obviously, they just absolutely can't let each other go. It's like Dean will sell his soul time and time again if it means keeping Sam alive. And yeah, I don't know, those two. What else did I put down on the Dean and Sam talk? Oh, I said, do you guys think Dean and Sam will ever move apart from each other? And, like, Sam will go get married and Dean will go hunting, whatever.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, yes.
Obviously, they'll always sort of stay in touch. Always.
Yeah, I think they would live in different houses, but in a very comfortable, area, like in reach of each other, so that they could commute very fast and very easy, but at the same time, each would kind of have his place.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, once it's all, like, if it's ever all over and they decide what they're going to do, that if they both decide to settle down, it's probably going to end up them being at least in the same town or in the same neighborhood, but definitely in the same houses. A reasonable distance, but not like too far away. Like Sam's not going to be in Oregon while Dean's in Kansas or something.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Someone just said, how did Dean learn about sex? I think Dean sort of dove headfirst into it and learned the hard way, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dean had a really awkward first time.
Yeah, I bet he did. I bet he didn't have a sex talk.
Most likely.
I bet he watched porn first. Or, went in porn magazines.
Well, I can just say, from what I've heard, porn is actually very different from...
Yes, it is. It is. So
I guarantee you it was probably very awkward if you tried to imitate porn.
But this is the thing, he might have watched porn because he thought, wow, porn is what happens. And then he'll got into a situation with the girl and like, crap, this is nothing like porn. So I bet Dean's first time was very, very, very awkward.
Yeah, most likely.
It sounds like head first, yeah, pretty much.
Oh, I get the joke.
You see, Tom is really refined and everything and really intelligent, then he sits there going, head first in the chat. Oh my god.
I'm really getting the joke and it's making me really laugh.
Oh my god.
Shut up, Ariel!
But yeah, Jem says I think John would have handed him some magazines and yell at him for, not to get a girl knocked up, not to get her pregnant. I think that would have been about the length of John's sex talk. It would just be, just don't get him pregnant. Pretty much.
Yeah. I think so too.
Honestly, I think if Dean would have gotten a girl pregnant, John still would have made him leave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Danny?
No, I was just going to say about TV and probably books as well probably helps Dean.
Yeah.
Because he is stuff, even if he doesn't really admit to it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, he does. Because he watches all sorts, doesn't he? He's quite cultured, really, considering how he was brought up. So I should say Dean probably worked most things out on his own, to be honest. And maybe John never actually did tell him not to get a girl pregnant, and maybe the girls told him, use protection and all this. Who knows? I'm pretty sure John would have disowned him pretty quick if he'd got a girl pregnant, or just told him to move town fast. So yeah, probably move town. Probably just drag him out of there and leave some poor girl with a kid on her own. To be honest, sounds John style, doesn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, I think Dean would really, really want to, like, in some way take responsibility.
Yeah, definitely.
But John would try to squash that.
This is like Socrates says Dean would be a softie. He still is a softie. He's a real softie when it comes to partners.
Yeah.
Did anyone else? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what was that, Danny?
Oh, Dean with kids as well. If Dean had found out he was going to be a father, he would have done anything to look after that kid.
Yeah.
He would never have, just left.
No, he wouldn't. John would, but he wouldn't. So what were you going to say?
Call BS when Lisa tried to say Ben wasn't Dean's kid.
Oh yeah, I was like, no, that is definitely Dean's child.
I was like,
oh yeah,
Lisa, honey,
totally
no.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure Cass knew.
What?
That Ben was Dean's kid.
Yeah.
Because Cass being an angel, I'm pretty sure Cass knew, and I don't think he wanted to say anything for obvious reasons, because he already hurt Dean enough. He's not going to say, yeah, that actually is your kid. I'm pretty sure Cass knew, and he didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, Dean, bro, I totally made your wife, your almost wife, and your kid forget all about you. Sorry.
Yeah.
We can totes get some Starbucks later, though.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm eating chocolate now because I needed it. I really needed chocolate. I'm crying. I'm not quite crying, but yeah. That's a horrible new headcanon I've got now. I'm pretty positive Cass knew. And that's terrible. Considering Cass knows how Sam was damaged on a molecular level, I'm pretty sure Cass knew that Ben was Dean's. So.
And can I just make it even worse? I think regardless of whether Ben was really Dean's or not, that is something that would so much strengthen the claim. The thing in Cass's head where he thinks that he has absolutely no claim on Dean whatsoever.
Yeah.
What, that's about season 6?
Yeah. Oh my god.
You were laughing like 10 minutes ago and now we're all like, oh.
I warned you, and Shannon was like, no, we're going to talk about Dean and Sam. And now we're talking about Dean and kids. And now we're talking about Dean and Cass as well. And now it's really fucking painful, and I hope you're happy.
I mean, I guess I could see... I really want Dean to be a dad, like a real dad. Like I would love, like in season 10, that he actually did have a kid, just so we can see him trying to balance out the hunter life and trying to be a dad.
He was a real dad to Ben, though, regardless of whether or not he really was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He was his father, and I just
Can I just say, this is something so sweet, I don't think they would actually ever go for it, but can you imagine the impact it would have if they were to show Dean and Cass as, like, a same-sex couple raising a child together?
It'd be amazing.
I think of that so often because, look, this is, aside from the fact that Supernatural will be the first show to do something like this with Dean and Cass, this is something that has legitimately not been done. And this is something that is missing on TV so badly. It's so fucking rare to see just two people of the same sex raising a child. It's something so hard to show, apparently. And that would just be, oh god. I would probably cry for little days.
They wouldn't have to do it through, like, the adoption system because of, like, how Supernatural is. Imagine if it was like a monster.
Find another shifter baby.
Yeah, imagine if it was like a monster child or a kid that was abandoned or.
Honestly, I always had this headcanon that eventually, if the show continued to where Sam and Dean and Cass were like going around, they actually got a kid who was orphaned by the monster they were hunting. I could definitely see them doing that. And to Pat, I'm not talking about like they completely make the show about 3 people raising kids. I'm just talking about it would be a cool little side thing that could add a little extra plot to the characters. Like if they found maybe a 7 or 8 year old kid that whose parents were killed by monsters, it would add a totally new dynamic between Team Free Will. It would add a certain element of danger that demons and angels could use if they were to get a hold of said child. It would open up a lot more emotional things because, you know, TV shows are all about little kids having those profound talks with and making adults realize things that they don't. Like, I could definitely see that. I could see that. It'd still be Supernatural, but it would just be Supernatural with a younger star.
Can I just say, I actually agree with... I disagree with Tom for once in my life. Because Tom thinks that Dean would turn into John as a father, but I don't think he would.
No, see, I think there's a difference.
Yeah, I think
when
Dean...
he was with Ben in season 6, it was after Sam threw himself into hell. There's a bit of a difference.
And it's, Dean and kids... I think he saw John's mistakes and he would never make them again. Like, Dean is amazing with children, he loves kids. I think he would be a good father, but like someone said in the chat, I don't think he would think he was a good father.
The thing with
he raised Sam.
Oh, I know,
the thing with Dean in season 6 was he just legitimately was not ready to be a father.
No,
he should not. He should not have went to Lisa after Sam vanished.
I tell you something. I'll tell you something, sorry, just to interrupt quick, because one thing I'm never okay with is Supernatural is Lisa should have never let an emotionally unstable alcoholic man whose brother had just died into her house with a child.
Yeah, like...
Yeah. Sorry, I just had to say that. She should never have let a man like that into her house. I love Dean. I love Dean, but no.
Dean was not emotional. He's not been emotionally stable since he rose out of hell in season 4. He should never. I think the only reason Lisa let him in was because in season 3, Dean in all other aspects seemed like he was emotionally okay. But then after all the things that happened with hell, after all the things that happened with Sam and Sam going into hell and how all the trauma he went through. No, I think it was but I'm not blaming Lisa because she honestly didn't know until probably much later, to which point she probably felt obligated to let him stay because she didn't want to make him feel, she didn't want to make his life even harder.
Yeah. I just, my issue is if you have a young child and, I mean, Nevin says that she had no idea about what actually happened, but she knew what Dean was like. She knew he was a drifter. She probably knew he was drunk most of the time. She knew who he was. He turns up looking like that. I think at that stage she might have known roughly sort of things that were, I can't remember exactly what she knew at that point, but she knew something about what had happened. And
when are we talking?
When Dean went to Lisa,
or when you first met
her? The end of season 5.
Because he'd saved her son from
so she knew. Yeah, she knew. And she opened that door to him and let him in. And I'm just like, why? You know this. I like Lisa. I actually do like her. And I don't agree with what they tried to do with her, like using her as a plot device. Again, you know, poor women. But you just don't let a man who is clearly that emotionally unstable into a house with a child. I'm just...
And can I say something about people who are questioning why Dean went to Lisa? I agree.
Sam told him to.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that Sam told him to. He loved the idea of what his life could have been with Lisa. He loved that she had a kid. He loves kids. He probably wanted to be a good dad. He wanted to have that cookie cutter life because Sam wanted him to have it, and because deep down he wanted it too. He loved the idea of Lisa. He really did love Ben, and he loved the idea of Lisa, and that's why he went to Lisa.
Like, can I just say, this was something that was the supposed opposite of all the things that made him unhappy in his life as it was. Which is why he thought it was something, it was the goal, basically. But, like, when he did it, I kind of basically knew that it was like, you know, it was like ticking that off in the list of things to do in life. When it's something that clearly wouldn't work and that he would just try that would never work for him, that would just kind of, you know, tick off the list as something that doesn't work. I just kind of got that whole... This is like the biggest impression I got from that whole escapade. It's just that it's something that he had to try. He had to find out that it wouldn't work, and he had to just move on. Or else he would just get fixated on that idea. That is something, it's something you never had.
I mean, people are saying, like, you know, maybe Lisa let him in because he saved her child's life. Maybe Lisa didn't know. No, Lisa, it's just... Any mother who has any sense around her wouldn't let a man like that near her child, knowing what he does for a living. And the state he was in, she technically should have, like, maybe took him in for a minute, and then called someone who knew what to do. You know, at this point, Bobby was alive, could have called Bobby, could have, you know, put him somewhere where he could have been looked after and be, you know, away from people.
Speaking of Dean as a father, can we just take Bobby as an example here? Because Bobby's someone who also was a survivor of childhood abuse, but who turned out nothing like his father.
Yeah.
I do think that it's possible for Dean to be a Bobby more than a John.
And because Bobby, you know, helped to raise Dean, obviously, you know, he says he adopted them. You know, Dean obviously saw that it wasn't that bad, you know, he could be like Bobby. Bobby was a new role model for him. And I still think to this day, Bobby is still rubbing off on Dean. I think Dean is still showing Bobby's influence to this day.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
And obviously Bobby did get he did get something. Like, his dad was an alcoholic, and he grew up to be an alcoholic because it's the sort of things that you sort of emulate, even though you know it's not good. It still happens, but the difference between Bobby and his dad is Bobby didn't let the alcoholism and all the stuff that happened to him affect him and how he raised Sam and Dean.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that Dean would be a Bobby sort of father.
Ariel brought up as well the time Dean hit Ben. Remember that Dean was actually turning into a vampire at that point.
Yeah.
And
he did.
Yes, it's not okay in the slightest, but he was.
Absolutely not.
He was losing.
Let it bleed. When Lisa is bleeding from the stomach, he smacks him around the face to get him to focus because Ben's freaking out.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not okay, but it's.
Yeah, it's absolutely not okay. But he did not hit him in anger or because he was mad. He hit him he shoved him once and hit him once in life-threatening situations when basically it was
when
it was absolutely not okay, but not the same kind of abuse as you do to a child if you're mad at them or if you can control yourself.
When Dean was turning into a vampire, that's when he threw Ben against a wall, I think, wasn't it? Like he sort of shoved him.
But
obviously he had absolutely
did that to save Ben's life.
Yeah, he had no control. That was actually to save Ben's life. And then he slapped Ben around the face to get his attention, which he could have shook him, I suppose, but maybe shaking wouldn't have worked. I don't know. It was Dean's quickest way to get Ben to snap out of it, I suppose. Still not okay.
Yeah, he needed him to.
Yeah, still not okay. But from when you look at how Dean was brought up and what he was used to and what that would be the norm for him, he would have probably took a lot more from John to get his attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do not think that it is comparable to the way John behaved toward little Dean. Absolutely not.
No. So, I mean, everyone's like, oh yeah, Dean hit Ben because he thought that was okay because of how John treated him. He hit Ben because that was the quickest way. As a hunter, and as sort of the hunter lifestyle, how he's, how he lives, that was the quickest way to get Ben's attention. Still not okay.
And if he didn't do it, then his mother was going to bleed to death. So there was a need.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I could have seen John doing that to Dean, and Dean just thinking it's okay. Yeah, Dean probably would have just thought nothing of it if he wasn't, But Sky says pinching earlobes and clapping my ears is what you taught him for at first aid, but can I just say Dean probably never went to a single first aid course, so... It's just you've got to remember what Dean was raised with and what Dean learned on the job as a hunter. Hunters are brutes, like Henry Winchester said. Hunters are brutes, and for Dean that was the quickest way. The first thing he thought of, not okay, not all right, but not excusable, but understandable, I suppose, in a way. So, yeah. Anyway. Are you happy now?
Really cheery.
Yeah, are you happy now, Satan? Because we were just gonna ramble on for a bit. So.
Mhm.
Gosh.
So let's conclude.
I actually feel really bummed out.
We should conclude the show with the undeniable fact that Sam and Dean had really crappy childhoods that are probably going to remain in a traumatized part of their brains for the rest of their lives, and they're probably never going to get completely better.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks for that.
Don't even get me started on Cass's family, Jesus.
No, let's not go to their Sunday dinners. No. Okay then. Well, that's our 2 hours actually, and I'm still eating chocolate because I'm just really depressed right now. I need to get the thingy up. Hang on a second before we go off here. And say who we've got on next week. And next week we have... Oh gosh. It's Lols of Fandom and Destiel in the Impala. I know Lols of Fandom's Felicia, but I can't remember the name of the other person. But
if we're still going to the zoo, then I'm probably not going to be here.
All right.
Next week.
Okay.
So you guys will have to live without me for a week. I know it's hard.
It's a shame. Shame. I'm gonna miss you so much. Sarcasm.
Shut up!
You'll have a happier show next week.
I love you really, Shannon. Alright then. Anyway, it is time for us to go, I'm afraid. Gemma's like, no. Anyway, you're all so quiet now and I feel really awkward.
In the show.
I'm just really sad.
I'm trying, but none of you are saying
Everyone is sad.
Everyone's sad. Anyway, we're gonna go because we're really, really sad now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we'll see you all next week with Laws of Fandom and Death Stealing the Impala.
Neven is asking if Satan feeds the animals. No, sweetie, Satan sacrifices the animals.
Actually, Satan eats the sacrifices.
Oh, yes. Oh, wait, yes, that makes sense.
Oh my god. Anyway, we're gonna go.
Still eating your children,
Thanks for
Evan.
having me on.
It's alright, thank you for coming. And
Sorry, we haven't been very cheery.
it's been terrible, hasn't it? Anyway, everyone go follow Dannie, by the way, because Dannie's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And
It's
she's
Dannie's
Bluebox
blog is
Parchment,
great.
No spaces, just blueboxparchment.com.
Yeah, bluebox.
Yeah.
And she's really great. And if you're a Rob Benedict fan, she will cry about him for hours with you.
He's lovely.
She was just walking around Asylum 10 basically crying about Rob Benedict. Just
He's so cute.
she just saw him and she's like, oh my god, he's so handsome. And I'm just
He's so cute. He's adorable.
oh my god.
I didn't shut up at him all weekend and Mapal just kept teasing me constantly.
Yeah, but it's okay, because Dannie had to hold me up after I saw Misha, and I started hyperventilating, and she's just there, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
I think we're all forgetting the most important part of that entire weekend was that I got to talk to Osric Chow.
You got such a famous person.
I just gave Beth his glow stick.
See, Dannie got to meet him. Dannie got to meet him.
Yeah. He's really lovely too. I
He
think
is.
I just have a thing for Prophet to the Lord.
Yeah. So, see, we were going to talk about Asylum 10 today, but we ended up just crying, so that's just...
Yeah.
It's okay.
Asylum 10 would have been cheerier, Mapal.
It's fine, we'll be okay. Basically, Asylum 10 was amazing, and I met loads of great people there, including Dannie here, and we just cried on the floor all weekend, so, pretty much.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's great.
Okay, we gotta end the show now.
Yes, we do have to go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you made us cry for an extra quarter of an hour, so we didn't get to talk about Asylum 10.
Oh, boo-hoo!
Boo fucking who?
cried.
Oh my god. God. Anyway, we're gonna go. So thank you, Dannie, for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having
sweetie.
me.
Thank you
It
for
was
coming
lovely.
in. Still have my body.
And thank you, and thank you to all our listeners again this week. You're all incredible, and we'll be back again next week for our lovely summer shows. And yeah. Oh, next week we have 2 people on. One person will be in the first hour, and the other person will be in the second hour. So, in that order,
Yep.
Laws of Fandom will go first, and Death Stealing the Impala will go second. So there we go. So, thank you all for coming. I'm going to sign this off now, and we'll see you all again next week. Alright, we love you all. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.